everyone, welcome to a new episode of our own podcast, Let's Talk Shop, where we get to have one on one interaction with the industrial leaders. My name is Mansi and I am the host of today's episode, and we have Nirbhay as our guest, who is the founder of the label Wild Hunks for Menswear. He has also worked as a design manager in the Landmarks company. So let's quickly get into the questions. So, sir, my first question is, how would you like to describe your experience in retail and export designing?
Okay. There is a difference between working in export house and retail industry. When you are working in retail industry, you will have to take responsibility of whatever design you are making, right?
Yeah.
Because those designs are finally going to reach to all the stores. Like suppose if you are working in Gokaldas, sorry, not Gokaldas, Max Retail. So Max have around 250 stores all over in the India. So next season, your designs will be reaching to your stores. So once it will reach to the store, you will be like totally responsible for the designs you are making. Because if the designs is not selling good, you will be questionable. Like what changes you would have done to do the, because you have to also do the market study and study competitive brands and all those things, right? But in export house, it is not like that. In export house, they actually get orders from the buyers, mostly from the international clients. I worked in Gokaldas Exports in Chennai. It was in Bangalore. So buyers normally, what happens in export house, they also do production in bulk, but the buyers visit export house and they sit with the company or merchandisers and designers, and they discuss their tech packs, like whatever design they want to get it produced. Their export house, their designer export house also have designers. Their designers will try to uh, present their capability, like they also can do some creative work, and they'll produce some, but they'll do some design work, and they'll display it in the showroom. Normally the meeting is generally held in the showroom where all the garments are hanged, so that they can, while the meeting time, they can present all the garment to the buyers, right? So this is a basic difference between
Okay,
working
so
in
you
export
have
house and
experienced both retail and
yes,
export.
yes, yes, yes.
If someone wants to go at that level, so he or she should go in a retail or export.
I would like to say if it is your personal interest, because I have already told you what is the basic difference. Because if
Yes.
you're working in retail, also you have to take responsibility. Even if you're working under export house, there also you'll have to convince buyer so that they
Yeah.
can give more orders, right?
Orders. Yeah.
So both the job is like actually competitive.
Okay. As you are a graphic designer,
Mhm.
how what is the difference between to learn graphic design at a campus level and for the retail for a job purpose?
Okay, in industry, the designs you are creating, right? You'll have to think a lot of things, because in campus you just do a lot of designs, and do you choose your own designs and present it to your faculty and get marks. But in industry, if you have to design something for a graphic design, for example, all over prints I'm talking about, or chest print you are talking, right? So or chest printer. So those prints are going to, like I said, same thing in retail. Those prints will be going to produce in a huge quantity. So you will have to make sure that the right color, right Pantone number, right forecasting should be done. Because in campus you normally don't do much of forecasting, but there they'll have to do market research. They also have to study the buyer requirements, the store's requirement. Normally what happens, if you're working for retail, the southern region will ask for some other kind of category, and but the northern region will ask you some other kind of graphic design, right? So you'll have to design it based on the requirement of the stores, right? So here in campus, when you do some graphic design or chest print or all over print, you actually don't care what is the size of the print, the artwork of the print, and how many colors, number of colors will be there in the print, right? But when you go to industry, you will realize that screen printing will have limited color printing option. They can maximum work on 2 or 3 colors. Then it is like, sometimes it is really difficult to convert multicolor design into 2 to 3 color screen. That is the basic difference between like
Okay.
what you do. You will learn a lot of thing in industry.
Means in industry we have limited schemes for the colors or the making
Yes,
prints.
yes.
Oh,
Depends. Like if you are going for a digital printing,
yes.
you can print n number of printing. You can even print photograph
Okay.
on a garment, on a t-shirt. You would have also seen it. But digital printing is costlier than screen printing. So most like 80% printing are done as a screen printing.
Okay, sir. There is a CLO 3D software for the fashion students. Can you collaborate that how it is useful for the fashion students?
Okay, CLO is new software, and I have been practicing in CLO from past 2 years, and I have also started teaching in some other university. So actually, CLO is very interesting. Uh, like how you learn pattern making, you will have to do a design first. Design the basic bodice. Same way you can do that in, but here you don't have to use your paper and L scale and all those Jacob and all those tools. Everything is in software. It is very similar to Illustrator when you are drawing the pattern. But the main utility of this software is like while you can have a 3D view of the garment which you wanted to have. Like if you have some like if you have some design in your mind, you can just create it 3D realistic output. Okay, so it is very interesting software. Even you can get pattern making. The avatar are actually in actual sizes. So if you are drawing any pattern, you can print. You can also print those pattern in actual size and get it developed.
So you are talking about the avatar, that avatar in the size of 8, 10, and 12 only.
Yes. You can also change the size of the avatar according to your own body proportion.
Okay.
You can measure your own body and you can change the avatar size.
Okay.
Right.
So do you think that in coming time for the future, people will mostly work on this software rather than making hand illustrations?
Let's see. The thing is like if and whenever whenever you think of some design, right, the first thing you will have to do is to note it down.
Okay.
Right, whenever you plan something, what you do, you take out your pen and then you note it down. So first drawing will never be going to the 3D software. The first sketch will always be in 2D. Okay,
2D.
when you have the 2D, then you can convert it into using the software CLO software, you can convert it into 3D form.
Okay.
Right.
So tell if a student wants to go for the internship for the graphic design in the field, so what would he or she do?
Okay. If a student is going to the graphic design industry, for sure he will be working as a junior designer, and there will be some mentor over there who will be guiding him. Right. So he will not be there to teach him from the scratch. He will expect that the student will have some knowledge so that he can assign his work to that young designer and he can start working, right? So it is very necessary before going to the industry. You should always have the basic knowledge of industry and what is their requirement, what software they work on, what work they are going to ask them to do, right? So be prepared for the internship and all this. Yeah.
In industry, which type and how much type of software are used
For a fashion designer, you are talking, or
for fashion and graphic board?
okay. Industry is also going to digitalize. Nowadays, everybody work in computer software. So for a fashion designer, you have to work in Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. And for graphic designer in fashion industry, mostly you'll have to work in Illustrator. For editing the images and all, you'll have to work on Photoshop.
Like a new software, CLO 3D has come.
Yes.
So Illustrator, still we have to work on Illustrator in industry, or we can work on CLO also.
The thing is, when you draw a 3D, 2D sketch, right?
Yes.
It is basically a technical drawing sketch. Who makes technical drawing?
Okay.
Designers. And a technical sketch is made for who? Tailors.
Tailors.
Right? They are not literate.
Yeah.
So whatever they see in the sketch, they will
Yes.
stitch. So CLO 3D is different thing. That
Okay,
is
sir.
okay to convince the buyer to get ordered when without making the actual garment. But technical sketches are very important when we're working in industry.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to see more design driven content like this, go on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. If you want to get more updates of the school events and workshop, go and follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. Until then, this is Mansi signing off.